Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Corey, better known as the Seaman, and I want to welcome you to another edition of the Seaman's Cinema Sit Down. Now, for those that have been following along for a while here at the Cinema Sit Down, you know I am a massive fan of animated television, and that'll probably be true till the day I die, because I am a kid at heart. If you can't tell, I mean, just look. Just look at all of the toys on that shelf. Or at least I still enjoy the things that you enjoy when you're a kid. And what I love even more than just animated television or movies or anything animated is when you can take something in the live action realm and bring it over to the world of animation to create something that is a really cool combination of the two worlds that you really enjoy. Star Wars has done an excellent job with this when it comes to the Clone Wars and Rebels, and Netflix has done an absolutely superb job of this in the world of dinosaurs. Oh, if you know me, you know what we're getting ready to talk about, and if you don't, why don't you pull up a chair, take a seat, we are getting ready to dive in spoiler-free into Jurassic World, Camp Cretaceous. And of course, gotta always make sure you throw the Jurassic World in there, because that's where this show is set. If you followed me, and this will be spoiler free, but I'm probably going to have to mention some stuff with season 1. But nonetheless, I guess a spoiler about this is while watching season 1, you get to a point in the show, right? There's a show about a group of kids that were selected. So mostly kids who have, connections to the park, or really rich parents, or, they're kind of like mini celebrities. And then one kid who beat a video game to get a ticket to go to this exclusive camp on Isla Nublar at Jurassic World. And while they're there, naturally, mayhem breaks loose, and you get to like the 3/4 point of season 1, and you realize that, oh, damn, like we are literally in the middle of the first Jurassic World, just from a different perspective. And naturally, like a lot of these Jurassic type properties, these kids end up stranded on this island alone by the end of season 1. And what I love about this show, just regardless of anything else that's going on, I love the cast. You have a really solid cast of kids that, they're all strangers. They don't necessarily all get along, but when forced to kind of have to pick it up, they have their ups and downs, but they do really come together quite well. And while there was frustrations for me in some of the early episodes around decision making in season 1, by the midway point, they're just reacting to everything that's going on. What I like in season 2 is that we get to see the kids, yes, still react to things that are happening. When dinosaurs pop up, you kind of just react. But they also do a really good job in season 2 of working together and actually figuring some things out. Some characters, like say Kenji, is still gonna butt heads sometimes because he can kind of be a little lazy. But when it really comes down to when it matters the most, this group really rallies around each other and they work really well together. And there's a lot of dynamics going on between all their relationships, and I like the way season 2 kind of explores some of it while leaving other parts of it that we kind of saw starting to bubble to the surface in season 1 off to the side, because there's plenty to still tell here at Camp Cretaceous by the end of season 2. But when it comes to the voice cast here, you have Paul Michael-Williams, who plays Darius Bowman, our lead. He's the kid who won that video game. Then you have Sean Giambrone, who plays Ben Pincus. He's kind of the group nerd, and he has a really awesome storyline going on with one of the dinosaurs that he makes a connection with in season 1 named Bumpy. And where their arc ends up is really fun. But based on where they were in season 1, it's that story I really enjoy quite a bit. When you finally get into it and you see what Ben's been up to, because it's so much fun for that character. But Kausar Muhammad, who plays Yaz, Jenny Ortega, who plays Brooklyn, Ryan Potter, who plays Kenji, and Rainey Rodriguez, who plays Sammy, are all back, obviously, and they all do a fantastic job again. Like I said, even just in the voice work, the way this group comes together, it's one of those you always wonder, like, is the cast in the same place when they're doing the voice work? Obviously, with the pandemic, maybe were they just recording at home? Did they get together to go through things? It's one of those things when in animation, sometimes you might all be in one place for certain elements. Sometimes you might just be by yourself. But regardless, it certainly feels like there is a chemistry between this voice cast, and it shows in the relationships and the performances that you get within the season. And then, like I said, as far as storylines go, Ben and Bumpy is a lot of fun when you get into what's going on with the two of them. And with the rest of the group, I really like how you're seeing Darius emerge as a leader without wanting to be the leader. He just kind of makes decisions sometimes because he knows so much about dinosaurs, and I like the way they play with that inside of the story and where it ultimately leads them, this year. Season 2, his decision making takes them to some places that are awesome, but also some places that are like, oh man, Darius, what'd you do? And I like how he kind of grapples with that throughout the course of the season. Kenji, like I said, can really rub you the wrong way sometimes because he can be such a rich brat. But I just love the energy that Ryan Potter brings to that character. And when Kenji is not getting on your nerves, he is super enjoyable. And certainly seeing the bond he has formed with Darius and some of the other members. This season he spends a pretty good amount of time with Yaz, which I really enjoyed watching. And then, as far as Yaz goes, there's an injury. And as a track star, being one myself back in high school, having a bad injury myself, what an injury can do to a track star from a mentality standpoint is something I liked how they played with. And I thought Kausar Muhammad, she does a really good job with how she kind of handles that. When you get into the Brooklyn of it all and all her Brookliners, is that Brookliners? I think the name of her fan, she's kind of a social media kid. She's kind of like our sleuth this season. There is a mystery at the center of Camp Cretaceous that's been there since season 1, and she's the one who's going to get the most sleuthing done. That kind of leads us to a thing that we don't know entirely what's going on. The kids don't know entirely what's going on, but is where we are headed come next season. And that was one of the things that bothered me a little bit this season, is there's definitely a mystery that starts to brew in season 1 that kind of gets put on hold for most of season 2. The storyline that they have here involves, the kids trying to figure out how to get off the island, and then a group of other people arriving on the island to help out. And while I like that storyline, and it does fill a really nice chunk for 8 episodes so that you can have more for season 3, I did want to get into that mystery because it was building to be something really cool, and that's certainly something I'll look forward to next season. And when it comes to that mystery, Rainy Rodriguez's character certainly has a tie-in that we don't really explore at all in this season, but her relationship with everybody else, specifically with Brooklyn, gets to be explored a little bit more. And I like I said, how you see this group come together. Then when it comes to those new people that show up, you have Stephanie Beatrice from Brooklyn Nine-Nine and Bradley Whitford playing Tiff and Mitch, who are a pair of adventurous, I guess you could call them, and the opportunity to come to an island post the Jurassic World, everybody getting evacuated, to sneak on and go explore and see what the dinosaurs are about, is something really, really intriguing to them. And Beatrice and Whitford do a fantastic job. I really like how they play with these characters, and I like how the characters play into the storyline, specifically Darius's story. And how that kind of plays in, as well as Angus Sampson, who plays Hap, who is kind of like their guide for this whole mission. And that kind of becomes the central focus for most of the season, as you kind of focus around these 3 people and what they have to do with the kids and how they kind of mesh into the kids' story. And I dug it for the most part. Like I said, the mystery at the center of this, I'm really intrigued by because of the way the story ties directly into the movie universe. And it's one of those, like, are they stalling with the mystery stuff so that we can get to the next Jurassic World movie, so maybe you don't get something spoiled, or are they just intentionally trying to space it out so that we can get multiple seasons? Because so far, I love this show. And the other thing that I love about this show are the dinosaurs and the animation. And the fact that this show does not shy away from the things that make the Jurassic movies so great, which is the fact that, like, if dinosaurs and people were to run into each other, and you're talking about carnivorous dinosaurs, there's a really good chance that people are going to get eaten. And this show never shies away from it. While it doesn't show it quite as much as maybe the movies would show it, it certainly sets things up and lets you know, like, yeah, that person got eaten today. And the dinosaur stuff is legitimately scary. When the kids are being chased by a dinosaur, as they are in this image here, whether they're being chased or they're having to outmaneuver a bunch of dinosaurs, like stealth mode. There are moments in the show this season that feel kind of really video gamey, where, like, you're kind of in a room and you got to get out and be as quiet as possible. And I love that aspect of it. Like I said it last year with season 1. I'll say it again here. If you have really little kids, I don't know if this is a show that's for them unless you would be okay showing them the movies. If you're cool with your kids watching the Jurassic Park movies with you, then they'll be fine with this show. But if you're not okay with them seeing the movies, you might want to hold off till they're a little bit older, because this show certainly plays into that. And I love that in season 2, where you have less adult supervision than even season 1, and there was minimal at that, the things that go down really present terrifying situations for our kids, and how they get in and out of those is really fun to watch. So for me, season 2 did it again, man. Camp Cretaceous just continues for me to just knock it out of the ballpark, and it's like just so easily digestible. Like, you can take this in 4 hours, 8 episodes, all just under 30 minutes, and it's like watching, a prolonged movie, or a Zack Snyder movie, as we get ready for a 4-hour Justice League film on HBO Max, or 2 Jurassic movies. You get the first half is like one movie, second half is like a second movie. And like I said, the way it fits into the world. And, this one is more of a standalone. Not too many ties to Jurassic World. But clearly, I think what they're potentially setting up on the mystery and could lead back into legitimate ties. And I just love the fact that it can operate that way. And that we can spend time on Isla Nublar before we get to, Dominion, where things are coming down. The island's going to explode. So to be able to spend extra time there, specifically when the movies aren't on the island, I just love that. And I would love to see the show kind of take us up to when, like, the main Jurassic World people come back post-evacuation, before we get into Dominion. So there you go, man. Those are all my thoughts on Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous on Netflix. I love this show, and season 2 certainly didn't let me down. And if anything, it just whetted the appetite more for next season. And man, the way they turn them out is this quick. Get me season 3 ASAP, because I really enjoy watching this group of kids run around on this island filled with dinosaurs. And some of the stuff that's not scary with the dinosaurs, some of those beautiful moments that I think are the quintessential things in the Jurassic movies, those moments of beauty and awe and wonder when you're around dinosaurs, also captured in here. And the moments that you get in that realm this season, really cool. So those are all my thoughts on Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous. Now I know what you're thinking. Have you dove in to this awesome Jurassic World animated show? What are you thinking? Try to keep it spoiler free. If you're going to drop a spoiler, please list it as such. But let me know, man. Do you like how this ties into the movies? Did you, and if you've watched both seasons, did you enjoy this season more because it was kind of standalone-ish and more just directly tied to our group, or did you like season 1 a little bit more with its ties to the actual franchise? Anything you're thinking, good, bad, or indifferent, about Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous goes down below in the comments section. Look forward to talking to you down there. And of course, if you haven't seen the show, let us know if you're interested and maybe you want to take a peek, because trust me, if you're a fan of the Jurassic movies, the show is so worth it. But leave all your comments down below. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're new, you want to come hang out with the old Seaman anytime we're watching things on Netflix. We have some more to talk about on Netflix, and I'm just getting myself into more on Netflix. They're on a roll right now, and I'm really enjoying the content that they're putting out. You'll see soon when we talk about their next movie. But if you want to be here for all that action you haven't yet, you want to show a little love, support the old Seaman, jump over there, man. Join Seamaniac Nation by hitting that subscribe button. Hit that little bell if you want those alerts. And until next time, for the Seaman Cinema, sit down. I've been the Seaman. I'm signing off. Peace.
Well, as I live and breathe, you're still here? Check out a video like this one, or this one, and hit the subscribe button so you can get alerts and check out everything the Seaman's got at the cinema. Sit down.